All right. What up? We here in the building with RKT Appraisals. What's up? Got Rashidi and Kaleem in the building. What's going on, guys? What's popping with you?
What's going on, fellas?
Chilling. So today's topic is, what size problem can you solve? So talk about that real quick. So
yeah, what the fuck? What do you mean? I'm
gonna jump right in. I'm gonna go for it. All right. So here's what's going on. You know the world's full of problems, right?
Right.
Okay.
Everybody has a problem. Right? Mm-hmm. And I'm all about solutions. Like, I want to hear your problem one time. That's it.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how to solve that problem.
Right.
What size problem can you solve? Now, there's small problems like, yo, loan me $20 real quick. Or, yo, I need somebody to sit down and talk to me real quick for like, I'm going through something. I just need somebody to talk to real quick. That's somebody you can have a morality problem, but then you can also have a finance problem. Most problems are due to finances.
Right.
I guarantee you, if most people had $1 million plus, their problem that they have today wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
But most people don't. So what size problem can you solve? Like earlier today, right? I call my mom's. I speak to my mom like every other day, if not every day. What happened was she didn't answer her phone. She had her phone in her purse, right? But she doesn't have the lock on her phone. So then if the button, if somebody call, if the phone moves inside the purse, it'll answer, which it did. So that in the background, I'm just hearing noise, but I'm saying, hello, mom. I couldn't hear her.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, I'm getting nervous. So like, yo, what's going on? So I called back again. Same thing happened again. So it happened 7 different times. So I'm like, yo, I told Shorty, I'm like, yo, I'm about to go to New York. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, but I'm about to go to New York. So I called my mother's landlord. She said she didn't know where she went, but she said she thinks she went she had like a dentist or doctor appointment. She said that's where she thinks she went.
Right.
But at this point, I don't know. So I'm getting nervous. But if I needed to, I could have went in and jumped in the car and drove to New York if I needed to. Why?
Right.
Because that's a problem that I can easily solve because I had the funds to do so.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Some people problems can go maybe only $100. Some people's problems they can solve with $250. Some people $500. Some people $1,000.
Right.
Some people maybe $5,000, $10,000.
Right.
What size problem can you solve to where you can just do something without it being an issue? Boom, solution done.
Right. Nah, that's some real shit. I feel that because, you know, if you think about it, I think that goes along with a lot of different things because, you know, there's certain problems that finances could solve real quick. It could be a big problem or a small problem, or there's problems that your own mentality can fix. You understand? Whether it's a big problem or a small problem. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times, if we're in the zone or the mentality of problem solving versus just dwelling on problems, then we could actually solve more problems. You understand? Or get things going in a direction where it's going to be beneficial for us versus I think more people than not dwell on the problem and then therefore they don't have problem solving skills regardless. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think about that shit.
Absolutely.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think too, especially like when it comes to finances, I think sometimes there's people who, you know, are dependent on how much money you got. You know what I mean? I feel like there's people who try to use their finances to solve problems where finances isn't the issue to solve that particular problem. You understand what I'm saying? So they end up thinking that, okay, well, I can solve this problem with money, but money might not be the thing to solve that problem. But there are situations where money specifically would solve that problem if you had it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's also a thing. So I think it's good to be able to have problem solving skills mentally to solve certain problems, but also have the finances to solve certain problems where finances need to be used for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But what's your thoughts on that?
No, definitely, man. I mean, I think to your point, Mr. Lucario, they both go hand in hand.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't solve a basic problem, all the money in the world is not going to solve your problems. That's why they got that saying, you know. But to your point, if you actually know how to solve a problem or at least put yourself in the right mental space to approach the problem, figure it out, slow things down, then you'll get out of the issue. You know, and to Kaden's point, when it comes to finances, a lot of problems is surrounded by money. At the end of the day,
Right.
I mean, it's something as simple as you have a lot of bills. You got a car payment, you got this coming out, and every month you have $50 left in your pocket. Now, to your point, Ms. Locario, if you're not actually mentally thinking and just slowing it down, like, wait, I only have $50 in my pocket, although money would help and solve the problem, but you actually got to stop and think, what are the steps I need to do to get more than $50 in my pocket, which would be apply to new jobs, update your resume, or find another another line of income.
Right.
But you got to actually think of that to get to that point, and then you get the money, and then it solves the problem. You know what I mean? So it's a process, but it starts off with the mental.
That's real shit. That's real shit. Shout out to AJ Lindo, Onyx, and Andrew in the chat. Shout out to you guys. So what do you think are some reasons why people can't solve problems? Like or is it like mainly a big thing where people don't actually put away finances or have certain finances put away to solve certain problems that finances would solve? You know what I mean? Like, are people prepared for that? Do they not think about that shit? Is that what's the thing with that?
Well, I mean, go ahead. All right. Well, I mean, it's all the above. I mean, to be honest with you, the way society's designed, especially these days, everything's instant gratification and everything is automated. So the reality of situations, people don't think about that, and everything's set up in a payment plan structure. So it forces people, or is structured or conditions people to not save for a rainy day. Nobody really saves for a rainy day. Why? Because you got Netflix, that's $10 a month. Why? Because you got your car payment, that's $350 a month. Why? Because you got rent, that's $1,500 a month. So if you're getting $2,500 a month, you're like, all these bills are covered, so I don't really have to save. So once your bills are covered, so in that situation where you have $1,800 worth of your bills being covered, that rest of that money naturally, because you don't have a payment plan for everything else, and it's not everything else in your life is not automated, or that sector is not automated, you waste that money because the main things are covered. My car to get to work is covered. My rent's paid. My roof over my head. I can eat something. Boom. That means I can waste everything else. And unfortunately, that's just a condition of society and how America is structured. It's structured to eat away at your pockets. And that's how the economy makes money. Is people just wasting money, buying random clothes, buying random items, everything getting sold. And that's what it's set up to do. After your main bills are paid, you just waste money on whatever salesman catches you first.
Right. That's real shit.
And just to kind of piggyback off that, you're really supposed to have about 3 to 6 months worth of monthly expenses in your emergency fund.
Right.
So take how much you spend monthly, whether it be $3,000, $4,000 a month, right? Times that by 6. You should have that much in your savings. Well, for an emergency, that should be your savings.
Right.
And the truth is, most people don't. And then, but if they did, that's part of how you can solve. If there's an emergency, if there's an issue,
right?
It won't solve everything, but it will be a quick fix to something if you really need it. And the truth is, most people, they don't.
Right.
Kind of what Rashid was saying.
That's crazy. And I think people should actually save more money than they usually do. I think sometimes, because this is what I noticed, and I had to stop doing this, but I remember when I wasn't making that much money, I felt like, why bother saving $50 a month? That's ain't nothing. Like, what's the point? You feel what I'm saying? And then so a person might think they don't have enough to save, and then therefore they don't, and then they never have anything. But also, I think it's the mentality of saving. I feel like if you think, well, I don't have enough to save, then you don't get into the sort of mentality of saving money or being the type of person that's sort of more responsible with money, so that you can say, hey, let me at least have something on the side just in case of this thing going down. And I think that makes it harder to solve problems, because I think your main problem is your relationship with money. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Shout out to Steve the Dean in the building.
Yeah.
Just to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, I also believe that people think about it, like, even to imply saving would imply that the person is going to be around for a long time.
Right.
What they say, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
And so then with that with that saying, you're basically saying that, you know, you don't have to save anything because you're not going to be here for long. So what's the purpose?
Right.
You might as well let it all go now. Some
That's-
people literally don't save a dime. They'll put up everything they have to try to reinvest. So I'm like, okay, you're on the right track as far as investment, but you're definitely on the wrong train.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a huge thing. So then they never have anything just in case an emergency happens. So they can't solve for anything. So I know somebody that, like, if you make $1 million but you spend $1 million, what do you have? You have nothing.
Right. Exactly.
So and a lot of people live by that philosophy. You know, so then they could never be in a situation. So it's almost like they have to live a perfect life, or else they and we all know life is not perfect. So then it's like you're literally just waiting. Exactly, YOLO. You only live once, and that's what people they live off that. And so because they live like that, they put themselves in a position to where it's going to be even a higher of a risk for something to happen. And when it does happen, it's as if they have nothing, and this whole time they could have had something accumulated, and they don't. But this is the reason why you put money aside in different accounts, and you know where hence grow with interest, right? Because you don't want it, because people are not disciplined enough to save. So you have to put your money away in places where you can't touch it.
Right.
On purpose.
That's some real shit. That's some real shit. And I think, and I think that's important too, because I think sometimes for a person to like manually do it, it's harder versus it just being taken out of their account or whatever and just transferred to another place. Because I think for a lot of people that they don't got the discipline to actually just do the saving thing. And I think if that's the case, they should have something set up like that, because I think that actually will solve a problem. You understand? Of them not being able to save fucking money. You feel what I'm saying? I think that's important. You feel what I'm saying? I think that's very important.
Problem can you solve?
And to that point, Mr. Lucario, that's a great point. And also what Kareem said, because ultimately for me personally, I'm at a different stage in life. But before, that's exactly what I was doing. Right. You know what I mean? When I was 19 or 20, whatever the case was, I had a 401k. And what happened was, is money I couldn't touch. All I knew was they would just tell me, hey, get this 401k. We offer this program. And I asked my coworker, like, hey, how does it work? How much you put? Oh, I'll put 3%. I make a match. You know, the 3% until you get 6%. Didn't know nothing about it. I just knew it was a vessel. I knew somebody was doing it, and it's supposed to be some type of benefit. Right. I didn't learn the benefit until, you know, I left that job, and they were about to cut me a $15,000 check. Now, you know, so the point is, I definitely did that from that point on, where, you know, I got my 401k. That's my way of saving, because they take it out your check, so you can't touch it. It's not easy accessible money. It's not like you can walk to a bank and take it out, or just charge on your debit card. You know, that was one way. With taxes, I just had them take out more money with taxes. That was my way of saving. So these are legitimate ways you can save if you don't have discipline. I put down zero on my taxes, and then I actually had them take like an extra $20, $30 out my every paycheck. You're not gonna miss it. When you think about it logically, you're not gonna miss it. After the first week or two, when you update it, you're not gonna miss it. Right. And those are ways you can actually save money without being disciplined. And on a rainy day, like Kareem said, that's when you can use that money. You know, and of course, now in the business, the IUL policies, same concept. Those are three things right now. If you have a 9-to-5 where you can save, where you're not going to really miss the money, and in case of a rainy day, you're good. An IUL policy, you have an insurance life insurance policy, to give you the name of it. You have one of those. Rainy day, you might be able to borrow $1,000 from there. Your 401k, you might be able to borrow $5,000 to $20,000 from there, depending on what stage you're at in life. Your tax time coming around in February, boom, you get back an extra $2,000. Right. Those are legitimate ways where you can actually save money, and just in case of a rainy day, and not doing anything. It's automated.
You know what I hate? I hate being the only one out of a group of friends who do try to save.
Right.
And then your people's they live their life the other way, where every dollar that come in they spend. Right. And then if some shit go down, they come to you like, yo, bro, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Right. And you looking at them knowing how they live, and you like, nah, I'm not letting you borrow shit, because if you can't even save money, understand that saving money is just you putting up money so you can borrow money from yourself.
Right, exactly.
I know you the type of nigga that don't save nothing, but you trying to borrow money from me,
right?
Nigga, please. No, man, you man fucked up, bro. I know you got it, and you don't want to help a nigga out,
right?
Wait. You ain't never want to help yourself out though, bro. I'm the asshole because I'm saving up my money so I can solve large size problems for myself when they come up.
Right.
Now, just because you having a problem right now, you expect me to fuck up my problem solving abilities financially to accommodate you when every dollar you get, and it be niggas who make more money than you too.
Yeah. Right.
Imagine niggas make more, like twice as much money as you do, but they in the freshest Jordans though. Right? They got the jewelry, they got the fly clothes and shit. They always go to the club. They always tossing money. They getting bottle service, right? But some shit go down. Like they kid falls and break their leg. Yo, can I borrow like 5 G's to get the surgery for my kid? No. Yeah, but I know you got it though. Why you can't just help a nigga out? Yeah, that's because I'm over here wearing Ross dress for less. Right. I don't have on no Jordans.
Yep.
Right. I take public transportation. I sacrifice daily.
Right.
So I could put my money away. You make absolutely no sacrifices, but now when shit is hitting the fan, you want to come to me and act like I'm the asshole. Right. You see what I'm saying? And we do that a lot. We do that a lot in our community. You 100%. Understand? We do that a whole. They always look like, even in a family, right? They always lean on that one person in the family who's like super conservative and responsible with their money. And then if they don't want to help niggas out, yo, you mad? That's why I hate my brother. He mad fucked up. He don't want to help the family. Right. But the whole family's wearing Jordans though. Nobody in the family has a fucking savings account except me, or except that one person. You see what I'm saying? And it's just so fucked up, bro. It's super fucked up. Like niggas, I know chicks who love to cut coupons, and every time they'll be like, "Look, I saved $15." Okay, where's the $15 at? Shit, I bought some more. I bought $15 worth of extra shit. Oh, right. Okay. Exactly. so you trying to impress me about the fact that you saved all this money? Look, I saved $5 on this bottle of water. Okay, cool. What'd you do with the $5? Nigga, I bought this glass.
Right, exactly.
Did you need to buy you went to the store just to get some water. You could have bought the water, saved the $5, brought the $5 home, put it in the savings account or piggy bank or something. But you're gonna buy a glass that you don't need. So now you got the water and a glass to drink it out of, when you could drink it right out the bottle. They designed it that way. But you had to go buy the fucking glass for the $5 that you claim you saved. You went and bought the glass. Now guess what? Now you got to clean the glass. So now you got to go buy soap to clean the glass. Right. And you got to have some place to dry the glass. So you got to buy like a disc draining thing to put the glass in the disc draining thing so the glass could dry. Right. So did you really save any fucking money? Like don't you love those fucking people who, hey girl, check out my new outfit. Yeah, I saved like $20 because I got it off the clearance rack. Right. Okay, so that $20 that you saved, what did you do with it? Girl, I got this hat. Don't you like my hat?
Nah, it's crazy. And even just to kind of piggyback off of that, right? People know what type of person you are, right? Whether you're responsible or you're irresponsible. And they play off that. They'll play off that. So one, you got to be careful who you have around you. Two, let me ask you guys a question. You guys ever seen that movie John Q with Denzel Washington? Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Sick help.
Yes.
Sick help. Nah.
You see what I'm saying? Like he did whatever it took because he knew he had a problem that he needed to solve. And the I think it was a heart transplant. It was so expensive for his son. Yeah. That he helped up the hospital and did whatever it took to save his kid. He's like, no, you're gonna listen to me.
Right. I'm not
trying to go to civil rights.
My son's going to marry me.
Yes.
That was a real scene, bro. Hat twisted, spit coming out of his mouth. That was a Grammy scene right there, bro. I know that.
And I said to myself, it just opened up my eyes because the fact of the matter is he didn't have enough money for the transplant.
Right.
And I mean, think about it. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars for a heart transplant.
Mm-hmm.
Who has that type of money?
Right.
The average person doesn't.
Right.
But then yet we continue to eat the way that we eat. And so, I mean, in that specific situation, the son, it's unfortunate that, you know, he just happened to be born that way, and it's messed up because the doctors knew the whole time and they didn't say anything.
Right.
It's unfortunate. There's just some people that's just unfortunate like that. They're born with defects. You can't control that.
Right.
But a lot of people can't control their health, and they won't. That's why I push health so hard, because there's situations when it comes to your health, and it's still risky no matter what. It's just less of a chance when you're eating a certain way that your body's gonna end up a certain way.
Right.
But then how do you solve those problems? How do you get to the point where you can pay for a heart transplant, pay for doctor's visits? Doctors aren't, and that's what I tell people. Oh, yo, being vegan and eating healthy is expensive. I tell them, yo, the doctor bill is more expensive.
Right.
To piggyback off Kaleem said, I want to go back to what you were saying earlier on, you know, in terms of how could he pay for that? In fact, he could have paid for that. In fact, we all have the power to pay for these things at the end of the day. The reality of the situation, even in the chat, somebody I put a little while ago about I'm a one kind of job kind of guy. The person that said that in the chat, ultimately, you have two ways of helping yourself. One, like I said before, you probably have a 401k. It's a 90% chance. Yep, it's 90% chance you have a 401k. Get it. Add it on. It takes an hour. You'll forget about it after that hour, and they'll take the money out.
Right.
Also, with your taxes, put zero down. Have them take out an extra $20, $30 a month. Thirdly, call RKT. Get a life insurance policy. Might only cost you $50, $60 a month. And all these things Kaleem said, you can be covered. That's why you have these vessels. That's why you have proper insurance and stuff like that, and do these other streams of income. Because at the end of the day, the system is designed for you to depend on it. But when you depend on something, what does that mean? It means it can fail you. And when it fails you, you have to depend on somebody else to help you out. But if you use the system against itself, you're good to go. In those situations, just like John Q. Truth is, we all know on this panel, if he had a whole life policy back then, probably when that movie came out, he would have been good. But he did not have that thing. You know what I mean? Had he had a 401k, he probably would have been good. But he did not have that. What he did was, to Kaleem's point earlier on, he was on the right track. He bought a house. It was an investment, but he didn't have the other tools to support that investment. So when everything went away, when everything happened, that one investment could not foot the bill. Why? Because you always have to create multiple streams of income and multiple ways of increasing your money and having money saved while you're always making money. And everyone in America has the opportunity to take advantage of all of these things. It's just a matter of actually doing it and listening.
Right. That's a fact. That's real shit. And you know, it's interesting. When I was thinking about what Miles was saying about when people be getting the they'll save the money, but then buy some other shit with it. I feel like there's some sort of psychological feeling or thing that goes along with spending the money, because if you're the type of person who doesn't have money, right, or doesn't have a lot of money, and then or you could even be a person who has a lot of money, but if you think that if you're the person that thinks that spending money, right, or spending money makes you feel good, right, you're going to continue to spend the money because spending the money makes you feel like you have the money. So just like when you save the money, if I save $5 or $10, now I got $10, but then now I have $10 to spend. So I'm going to spend it. And then it's a cycle, because every time you get the money, you spend it because it gives you a sort of high to feel like you have money to spend.
A status symbol. It's a status symbol.
Right. So then it's like, I feel like your mindset has to switch and say, well, I don't need to spend it to feel like I have money. I can still have money without having to spend every dime I get. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a mindset shift that people got to sort of like get into. Or if I'm going to have this money, can I do something else with the money besides spend it to make more money so that I can have money for situations like this where it might be an emergency or whatever it is like that?
Do you know how many like Mercedes Benzes and pair Air Jordans that we buy? I'm talking about like we spend like twice as much in we spend twice as much for Mercedes Benzes and Air Jordans, and we have half the wealth.
Right.
But why is it like you just said? Because of the status symbol. It makes us feel something. Like if I don't feel that I have worth, if I don't feel like there's, I'm not worth anything, then I'm going to get something that's going to supplement how I'm feeling.
Right.
So then like you said, by me buying that thing or spending it, now I feel good. Most people can't afford a Benz, but why do they have it in their driveway?
Right. Exactly. Because they want to feel like they're somebody. They want to feel
good.
They
feel like they're somebody. They need that validation.
You
know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's some real shit. And I think also too, it's because, like we talking about the whole thing of like what size problem can you solve, right? Or what type of problems can you solve? I think one of the biggest problems is that people have to solve the problem they have mentally.
Yeah.
Causing them to do the crazy shit with money that causes them to be in situations where they're in dire needs of money. You see what I'm saying? I think that's one of the things, because I feel like it's a worse feeling to know that you need the money, but you don't have the money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because one thing is, just wanting money is one thing, but needing money is another thing, I think. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want $100 million, but then that's different than actually needing $100 right now for whatever reason I need it for, and then not having it. And I think that's a whole nother issue, which is worse. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because then it brings up situations, it brings up understanding like, damn, well, why don't I have this? What are the reasons or the causes as to why this is an issue? And if I don't have $100 and having that $100 will solve the problem, what did I do in my situation to where I'm not able to get that, or I don't have that thing? And then you have to figure out what it is to solve it. It was funny. I was watching this. It was a skit on Saturday Night Live, and I think it was Melissa McCarthy. And there was a skit where she was like, she was asking this dude for like $50 or no, she won $50 or some shit in a game show. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I won this $50. This is going to get me out of a couple of jams. You know what I'm saying? It was just like,
it'll make that 50 stretch.
Yeah, it was just $50. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I'm just like, crazy. Damn. Like, but that's how it goes though. You know what I'm saying? But oh my goodness. But anything else you want to say before we because we're about to wrap it up in a minute?
Yeah, save money, man. Save money. Get yourself a IUL, or at least get yourself a some type of index mutual. Cause you guys do index mutual funds, right? You guys do index funds and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes. Index funds. Yes.
Yeah, you guys do index funds, and look, do something to where your money can make some money. And if you don't want to save your money, make sure you hustling. Make sure buying shit off of Alibaba for cheap and selling it back on Amazon for more or some shit. Like, do something, man. You know what I mean? Because a lot of you people, y'all don't even look that good wearing Jordans. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all niggas can't even play basketball like that. Like, you feel me? Get with RKT Appraisals, 973-420-5028, or go to rktappraisals.com. Get with these guys, man. They got credit, they got life insurance, they got ways to save your money, ways to budget. Like I said, credit repair. They got all that shit, man. They could get you straight, man. And it really makes a difference, because when you buying shit and your credit fucked up, they're gonna hit you with them stupid interest fees and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's some real shit. That's some real shit. All right, people. Oh, go ahead, Galen. You want to say something?
Yeah. Before we get out of here, just real quick, I just feel that a lot of times we try to like separate things in our life. And I said this before, I'm gonna say it again, that you can't separate your life. What do I mean by that? You have to know that everything in your life matters, from your finances to your health, your personal development, your spirituality. It all connects. So if you having financial issues, right, a part of that is because you're not taking your whole life seriously. You probably don't go to the gym. You probably probably don't pray at all. You probably don't have no sense of spirituality. You're probably not personally developed. How many books do you read? Right. Who are you surrounding yourself by? So all of these connect.
So if you're not doing one, you're probably not doing all.
That's a fact.
That's the reality of it. So, and so in order for you to even save that money or to even get to that point, you have to have the discipline. That discipline comes from everything else in your life. So you can start doing the little things. I'm gonna give you some solutions right now, right? Read some more books. And I'm not just talking about any books that can help you out in the area where you need help in. There you go. Exactly. There you go. There you go. Pick up one. Yes, 100%. 1,000%. Yes, that's number one. Number two, even if you're not going to the gym, do a base. If you can't do, as a grown adult, whether you're a man or woman, if you can't wake up and do 20 to 30 push-ups, that's a problem.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? If you don't speak to anybody, like just to have a conversation with them, just to have them pick your brain and vice versa. If you're not connecting with anybody, if you're not connecting with anyone like spiritually, if you don't believe in a higher power, it is what it is. At least talk to yourself to a degree.
Right.
If you're not doing these things, that's an issue. That's the reason why you're having financial issues, and you will continue to not be able to solve a problem. But however, there is light at the tunnel, like Miles, like Mr. Locario said, like Rashidi said, call RKT appraisals, and we can help you out with those issues.
Facts.
All right, people. So that's pretty much it. We out of here. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. Be gone. We out. Later.